watch the reaction that they had in the Tennessee House as these maps were being passed. Let Memphis go. Let Memphis go. They're all in the gallery cheering. The Democrats in the Memphis House have taken to the floor and they're protesting as well. Air horns, and they're blowing air horns. There's something that sounds like maybe a fire alarm, and they're chanting and yelling as this map gets passed. They ended up having to clear the gallery because of how wild these people were being. This is really not anything insane. I mean, again, you can kind of see they've gerrymandered it a little bit. I think the biggest one is District 5. Obviously, that's kind of weird looking. It wraps around another district. That's kind of gerrymandered. But again, as far as gerrymandered districts go, this really isn't that bad. Even here in Texas, we have districts that are way, way crazier. And then you start looking at some of the blue states where they've been gerrymandering their districts for a while, and you'll see some wild stuff. Absolutely wild stuff. So why are we acting like this is such a big deal? It really doesn't make any sense. And again, the reaction. I played you some of the video in the last segment. When this was passed, I mean, you would have thought that they just reinstituted slavery with that bill, just based on the reaction. And of course, they go and they start clearing the gallery because you got people up there with bullhorns and sirens and chanting and whatnot. You can't get any business done, and this is a formal legal environment. So they had to clear out the gallery of the Tennessee House. One representative in the Tennessee House, a Democrat, of course, actually went in there and was fighting with the cops over this, trying to pull them off of some guy that was being shepherded out of the gallery. Take a listen to this audio. This is the class of people that the Democrats in Tennessee are choosing to represent them. This is a crazy video. Listen to this. Pushing him. Move the F back.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Ted. You stupid mother.
What is wrong with you, you pig, you stupid mother effer, boy? Now, I've watched this a handful of times. I can't see anything that these troopers do wrong. They're trying to shepherd this guy out of the gallery. Rep Pearson, who, for the record, has actually been completely expelled from the Tennessee House before. This is not the first time he's made a fool of himself. He actually got kicked out of the Tennessee House. Now, that triggered a special election, which he ran and immediately was reelected back into the House. But he's been kicked out of the Tennessee House for doing this. And he's getting in there, interfering with the officers, and they're trying to sort him out from the guys that they're clearing from the gallery. And he's in the way. And he gets upset with them for this. What did you think was going to happen? Honestly. So he ends up going back out into the cameras, leaving the Tennessee State Capitol, and he again does this big grandstanding routine. This is him talking to the press right after that. And again, this is Thursday, right after they pass these new maps.
This is what white supremacy does. This is it trying to force us to capitulate. Yeah. And I appreciate y'all not capitulating. And I'm going to take the votes. I'm going to speak up and speak out. But this is the problem with our democracy. This is the problem when white supremacy rules and governs and guides instead of democracy.
Come on. We gotta go.
Where are you going? Where the car?
We're going into the van.
This is the problem when white supremacy governs instead of democracy. Oh, how terrible. Now, I've said this 1,000 times before. If you're a regular listener to the show, you know that one of my biggest pet peeves in all of politics, really, is when somebody says we're a democracy. The United States is not a democracy. It never has been a democracy. Lord willing and the creek don't rise, it never will be a democracy. So my, I think, all-time biggest pet peeve ever is when someone who should know better uses the term democracy to describe the United States or any of the individual states, because all of the states have a pretty much identical system of government with some small changes. But pretty much every state has, just like the federal government does, 2 houses of a legislature and executive branch and so on. So we aren't a democracy. And we keep seeing this, because they've removed this Democrat district, that this is white supremacy. Well, not necessarily. Why does that have to be white supremacy? Even AOC, again, I told you she'd come back. She's making this same point. She says states like Tennessee want to wipe out every black representative on the map.
When you are seeing states like Tennessee want to wipe out every black representative on the map in these states, we have an obligation as Americans to stand with black Americans and communities whose representation is being disenfranchised.
Now, again, one, it's not racist to do this. 2, even if it was racist, they'd be doing a pretty good job of doing the old racisms, because if you're watching the video, you see it right there. You see the pictures of Cohen, the Democrat representative that just effectively lost his job through Tennessee's redistricting. He's a white guy. So even if this was all about just removing the black voice from Congress, you wouldn't be doing a very good job of it. And the dirty little secret here is this has nothing to do with race at all. This is about politics. And you don't have to like it, but we can do it. We can move Democrats out of Congress by redistricting. It is allowed. You can say it's unfair. I don't care. We're allowed to do it. We're doing it. It is in our political interests. We're doing it. What's even crazier here is if you look into Democrat Steve Cohen, who has represented the 9th District of Tennessee for 20 years, thereabouts, he is actually, in all likelihood, going to be replaced by a black woman who is a Republican. If you look at Ballotpedia, you can see the history of his past elections. In 2024, which was the last time he was up, he beat out Charlotte Bergman, a Republican who is black. In 2022, he again beat out Charlotte Bergman, a Republican who is black. 2020, same story. 2018, again, same lady. For at least 3 election cycles, probably more if you go back. I don't want to sit and dig back this entire time, but yeah, going all the way back to 2014, they have been running this same black woman against him, which at some point you might have to realize she's just not going to win, pick another candidate, but that's neither here nor there. This white guy has been in office in this Tennessee district that just got destroyed for 20 years, beating out black women for the seat, or a black woman. And yet Democrats will still look you dead in the eye and say it's racist that the Republicans in Tennessee are kicking this guy out of office. How? How is this at all racial? Now, politically speaking, we've removed Democrat voters from one big block. We've spread them out, so there probably will not be a Democrat there. That was done politically. That was not done racially. And again, we're allowed to do it. But still, the talking heads on CNN will still tell you this is actually racist. I'm not kidding. Right after the evening this happened, this is what the conversation on CNN was like.
The woman now who is likely going to win the 9th district in Tennessee is a black Republican woman as a result of this redistricting effort. It's likely going to be a black Republican woman who beats that old white man.
Could I make this very simple?
But that's racist?
We're going to come back.
It actually is.
We're going to take a quick break, and then Tesla and...
It actually is. It actually is racist. It actually is racist to replace a white Democrat with a black Republican. That's white supremacy, according to the Democrats. Now, common sense would tell you that that's a stupid thing to say, but the Democrats don't have any common sense. They're plumb short of that. So, honestly, you can make the argument that it's unfair to do this gerrymandering, because to a certain extent it is. We are using our political power as Republicans to give ourselves an advantage. To a certain extent, absolutely, it is unfair. Guess what? Life ain't fair, neither is politics. We're allowed to do it. It's completely legal. It's completely constitutional. We're going to continue to do it. It's not at all racist, and it's impossible to make that argument coherently.